Ahoy! Anchored with this, that. Setting sail with the captains of the creator economy. In this episode, we have Hannah Monds and Devin Monds, co-heads of EMEA for Influential. The topic of this episode is winning across cultures. Success in US, EMEA business leadership as married co-heads of EMEA. What to expect from this episode. Explore the intricacies of global business growth, specifically the cultural nuances between EMEA and US. Discover how these changemakers have adjusted to being at the top of the business, and as a married co-heads, how they balance each other out. What's your name, your job title, and company? And please, if you could, summarize what your role looks like.
Okay, so Hannah Monds, I work at Influential and I'm the co-head of EMEA. And we kind of have the same role, don't we? Which is just to open up the European office for Influential. Influential's first office actually in EMEA. They're US headquartered. And the aim is to drive brand awareness, make everyone very aware of our value proposition and drive revenue, ultimately.
Yeah. Devin Monds, Influential, the other co-head. Hannah said most of it quite well, but yeah, that's our focus, is just to expand the business across this lovely region.
Yeah. A few months in. It's going really well, actually. I mean, we're both really enjoying it, which is, I think, at half the battle, if not more, to be honest, because I think when you start a new job, it's quite overwhelming. There's a lot to learn. Can feel a bit like a huge mountain to climb, which can make it feel a bit, well, just not fun, really.
Yeah.
But I think Influential, we're both really enjoying it. We're loving working together because we're husband and wife duo as well. So that's really lovely.
And like we were saying earlier, the question we get all the time is not necessarily business questions. It's like, what's it like working with one another? So it has its advantages because, you know, you work with certain colleagues, right? And you don't know what they've been having in their personal life, and sometimes it might catch them off on a bad day. So we do have that. So I know certain days she'll kind of step up and like Devin's not in the right headspace, whatever it may be, and vice versa. So we work, I think, very well like that.
And then with regards to the business, I think the actual proposition has been really, really well received. I think we're really lucky because Influential, both of us, when we decided to move over here, it was because it has a very unique proposition. It's a very saturated market, lots of different companies, and we wanted something that would really stand out. So I think business-wise, we've not had one bad conversation yet.
Yeah.
So I think in a short amount of time where most people are still doing their training and onboarding and all of that kind of stuff, we're getting to briefing and bookings and all of that kind of great stuff. So.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think starting any new region, you wear many different hats, and so we're more in that, the first 3 months was probably more that operational, kind of that marketing hat, where it's just like we're shouting from the rooftops, we're Influential, we're now in EMEA. And then you start to then put your sales hat on, then your kind of client support hat on. So really enjoyable though.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
You're married co-heads. What is that like? And how do you balance each other out in terms of work and personal lives?
That's a good question. I like
Do you want to go?
Yeah. There is kind of I'd say an agreement that we have at 7:30, 8 p.m. We do not talk about business, because I think you do have to draw a line in it. And we have 2 kids at home as well, so you do have to. And our kitchen table at the moment is our office. So yeah, it's finding those 2 lines. And I'd say the first month we actually had to get used to each other's style as well. Even though we'd work together, but you're like, Devin, you have like that North American way where it's just like go, and you had to bounce that out, understand, move it at that.
More relaxed approach.
A little bit more relaxed. But yeah, I think over time you just find that balance.
And I think that's what's been really good about it, because Devin, coming from North America, that's where he's spent all of your media background, apart from the last 7 years where you've been in Europe, actually is really helpful working for a US headquartered company, because it really helps me understand, okay, well, this is the way that things are done in North America. Don't take this particular tone with this, don't get offended, which us Brits do. Yeah. All of that kind of stuff. And then vice versa. I mean, more so when you first came here, because you know the drill now for Europe.
I struggled with it.
Yeah. I was very much like, right, Dev, this is the European approach to things, and also this is how we do stuff in the UK versus this is how the French market might do things. This is how you should approach stuff in the Middle East. Like you were recently in the Middle East. So I think we balance each other out in that way as well, just knowing the cultural nuances of North America versus EMEA. That's really useful, I think.
It always works because, you know, with a leadership team and HQ in the US, I'll have to say, this is how Americans move. You know, this is how Americans move. Just take it. You know, just go slow with it. So that part, you kind of, those cultural nuances, we can kind of shift through it and understand it very quickly from both sides of the pond, really.
Cultural nuances in EMEA and US working styles. What are the biggest differences?
For me, I think, and it does, obviously this isn't, I don't want to stereotype everybody, so this isn't like a blanket thing, but I think for me it was more of what I would deem, because I'm British, a bit more of an aggressive approach, which is have a business meeting. It's a business meeting, as in you go straight in, do your introductions, then talk business for the entirety of the meeting. And it was very much like, if you go on a meeting, you need to have something at the end of it to go back and report, like what brief's coming up, what kind of money, yada, yada, yada. And that is just, for me, that has not ever been my experience. I've worked in the industry, 18 years now. For me, it's more of a soft, slow approach, relationship building, networking, going down the pub, learning about people, how many dogs do they have, how many kids do they have, stuff like that. And so the business chat actually is a very small percentage of the overall chat. So I think that's definitely the key difference for me, where that for me, 100%.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'd say for me, when I moved over to the UK, the first 18 months took me a while to understand this style. Because yes, if you're in New York as an example, and you have your product X, Y, and Z, you can just be like, how much of it are you interested? Do you want to buy? And you just know quickly where you stand. In the US, UK, to what Aaron was just saying, it's a much slower approach. Like, it's very much a pub culture. Go down, get to know that person. Then maybe on that third or fourth touch point, you can maybe kind of seed in a bit of business chat. So that took me a while. And then I also felt with my accent that, like, are these Brits, do they just feel like it's another North American, I'm Canadian, that's North American person coming over and just trying to sell into them. So, but then you get to a point where you become more age mature and you give less kind of...
You can say the word.
F's, sometimes, about it, yeah.
So polite.
Who is an industry changemaker to you in the creator economy?
Yeah, I can answer. I think a changemaker is somebody that I would look at personally and be like, they are shaking things up, and they're somebody that I would aspire to take that approach. And I think somebody who I would look up to actually is influential is probably the founder, our founder Ryan Dieter, just because he started off as an influencer himself many moons ago, like we're talking over a decade ago, with no kind of, aspirations necessarily to launch a business like Influential, but really saw that there was huge potential in influencer marketing way before influencer marketing was a thing. And I think, one of the great things about Influential is we've been going, nearly 12 years now. And I think the fact that he took kind of his experience of being an influencer before influencers were even like a thing, really, and created an entire business that goes way beyond just vanity metrics. And I think, I come from a background of out of home and print and digital, very credible, all of that kind of thing, very sophisticated in their measurement, etc., etc. And I think one of the lovely things about Influential is it goes way beyond vanity metrics. It really uses influencers as a distribution model. It's part of a media plan. And it goes way beyond what engagement rate did this particular campaign achieve, and it actually looks at how much ROI do we drive, what kind of ROAS did we drive, and all of those great metrics that brands really want to know. So I'd say, Ryan's probably mine.
Yeah.
God, that's going to sound really cheesy, like I'm blowing smoke up his arse because I just joined, but I'm still in my probation period, that's probably why.
Yeah.
No, but Ryan would be mine 100%.
Yeah,
and he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great man. For me, kind of, was it a change maker? For me, it's like a person, I guess, that has, that is really passionate, but also curious in whatever they do, I guess I'll kind of shape that into, was a mentor. And so a gentleman by the name of Albert Thompson, he's a managing partner at an agency called Walton Isaacson. They're a multicultural agency, I think, founded by Magic Johnson, the basketball player. But I've worked with him for probably 15-ish years now. He's actually out here in Cannes now, but he was everything he's done and kind of done in the space. He's a black man. I'm actually mixed race. Dad's black, mom's white, and so I've always kind of related to everything he's done. He's always taken the time to just kind of talk about the industry, the landscape, help me with business, how to position things for clients. So Albert would probably be my person.
Yeah, he's a dude.
He's a dude.
Yeah.
How are you making marketing more enjoyable?
Do you know what? I think that's a really good question, and it really resonates because we, again, both of us have been in the industry nearly 35 years collectively, which is mental. And I think we've seen a real shift actually, where it was a really fun, vibrant industry, and it's become quite dry, in all honesty. I mean, we've spoken about this at length, and I think one of the things that we aim to do is always like put the fun and inject the fun back into the industry, because it is a fun industry and it should be fun. I mean, especially the influence marketing
so social,
genre. So I think, to be honest, we're really lucky because we work together and because we love each other. we do love each other. I don't know why I'm laughing. I genuinely do. Part of the fun is just working with one another. Like we'll have a break and we'll have a dance around our kitchen, literally.
Yeah, that actually does happen, yeah.
And I think we're really lucky as well, because all of the clients that we come across, like, they're really fun people, great. I mean, as well, for me personally, being British, sense of humour is everything. And I think injecting fun, a lot of that is in not taking life too seriously. And I think I'm definitely one of those people that doesn't take things too seriously, and you know.
Hey, no, yeah. I think it's one of those things where partly the pandemic has something to play in there, but it's just I got into this industry because of how social it is, and I always say it's this idea of meeting strangers Monday through Friday. So come Friday, I almost become an introvert, like on a weekend, but it's this idea of just getting to know people. I studied psychology, so I always wanted to understand people, their stories, and this and that. So yeah, trying to bring that back a little bit. And I know, businesses have gone remote and we lost a bit of that touch, that physical kind of touch, and getting to read somebody's actual body language and all that. So I think just getting back, and especially in the UK, pub culture, we're trying to get that back in, just the media Thursdays and things like that. Fun, injecting.
We're bringing it back.
Trying to bring it back.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
And now, time for a game, and a chance to get to know our guests on a bit more of a personal level. It's time for a series of this or that questions.
Let's go. This.
Which one's this? So I now read this, yeah? What is your guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh, Married at First Sight Australia. 100%. I've just stolen yours.
You know I love that one. Especially the Australia one.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we both enjoy it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a co-head thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a co-head thing. What's a married thing?
Do I choose now? That, please.
Oh, who is the most famous person on your phone? Oh.
Good one. Two people. You might know. One is Adam Ottavino. He's a pitcher on currently the New York Mets. And then I guess the other one, which actually fits our industry, is Olivia Bentley from Made in Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one as well. I have no one.
Yeah.
That.
Guess it has. If you were to become a creator tomorrow,
Yes.
what vertical would you talk about? Influencer marketing doesn't count.
Right. Greece, 100%.
What do you mean?
Greece, I would just talk
be a
about
Greece.
Greece. I would evangelise about the country. Like, everyone always comes to me.
So work for the tourism board almost.
Yeah, like 100%. Like, I am obsessed with Greece, to the point I actually learned fluent Greek. I speak fluent Greek. I did my degree in Greek, and I just absolutely love it. So if there's anything I could talk at length about,
Right.
especially Zakynthos, the island, not the chavvy part, because everyone always says that when I
That's
say
yeah.
it. I think they assume because I'm from Croydon, I would go to Zante and just the really shit part.
Yeah, I think they do.
Which is sad, but never underestimate someone from Croydon.
No.
Would be my...
So Greece influencer, love that.
Yeah, Greek.
Nice. This please, Hannah.
It's the name. What's your hidden talent?
I mean, baseball. I used to play. I was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That is a talent.
At high school. It's a talent, but one I don't really put into use anymore.
No, wait till sports day for the kids though.
But yeah, I guess baseball. If a baseball ever comes up in London, I can throw it far.
Yeah. You did do that with my dog once,
Yeah.
and she literally couldn't find it.
There's a little Jack Russell, like a short-legged Jack Russell, and threw this tennis ball with kind of full velocity.
Yeah.
And just
Went straight over
she
her
lost.
head.
Yeah, she lost it.